booktube! My name is Elizabeth and welcome back to the Owlery. Today I'm going to be bringing you the graphic novel book tag. This was created by Harriet over at Harriet Rosie, and she tagged me in her original tag, so thank you very much. I loved this tag. When I heard about it, I was so excited. And if you guys don't know, Harriet has a booktube channel, of course, but she also does design. She created my channel logo, which you can see down here. I believe you can see it. And some of my friends' channel logos. And she does all of the channel or the graphic art for the Young Adult Booktube Award. She's extremely talented. So if you guys are looking for channel art or anything like that, definitely go and check her out. Send her an email because I think she's doing that for people, and extremely affordable prices. So yeah, she's just amazing and I love her and she's the best. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to the graphic novel tag. Question number 1 is the very first graphic novel that you read. The very first graphic novel that I read was the Cirque du Freak manga, actually. So I had a friend in high school and he got me onto the Cirque du Freak series by Darren Shan. It was actually like a middle grade novel series, and it's about this kid who becomes a vampire's apprentice and he travels around this Cirque du Freak, the, you know, circus of freaks, I guess you could say. Cirque du Freak, that's what it means in French. Anyway, and it was so good. It ate me up. I read it all through like 9th, 10th grade, ate it up, and then I found out that it was a manga series, and I had never read manga or graphic novels, and I was kind of intrigued, but I liked the book series so much. I really wanted to kind of see it in art form, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that was one of my first graphic novels, and it's what really got me into graphic novels. If you guys really like a book series and it's in graphic novel form and you want to get into graphic novels, I highly recommend trying the graphic novel form of a book that you like, and because that's what got me into graphic novels, and I think it works for a lot of people as well. Question number 2 is, what is your favorite graphic novel? And mine is a Tokyo Ghost by Rick Remender. I have all 10 of the individual issues, and basically this is about it's the future of our world, and everything is kind of like a wasteland, right? We screwed over global warming, and where there's no trees, but there is a small area in Tokyo that is like a safe haven for plants and foliage and people who are trying to make the earth right again. And it follows our two main characters who are in a relationship, and their love is just it's just perfect, and I love them so much. And I love this series, and it was just written so well, and the art was amazing, and the story was freaking epic, and I loved everything about this series. What's a graphic novel that disappointed you? Mine would be In Real Life by Cory Doctorow. I just was like expecting kind of like a fangirl. So basically the story is about this girl who meets this boy online, and she finds out that he's kind of like a slave child laborer type thing, and she tries to rescue him and save him, but it just didn't, like, the subject of the novel didn't come off that way when I first started reading it, and so I kind of was expecting one thing and I got something else. So while the moral of the story is good, and like what it's trying to bring light to was really good and meaningful, it just wasn't what I was expecting going into it, and it was kind of strange, and I just didn't really agree with the way that the main character like pursued how to help this kid, and it was just, I just didn't like it. Number 4 is, what is a graphic novel that you'd like to reread? I really want to reread Mouse Volume 1 and 2 by Art Spiegelman. This is basically about, it's a story, the author Art Spiegelman, his father was a survivor of the Holocaust, and it's his father's story of going to the Holocaust, but in this story the cats are the Nazis and the mice are the Jews, and it's strange, and it sounds kind of like cute and cartoon and funny, but it's not. Like, it only works because of the cat and mice type play, and it's just so strong and meaningful and heart-wrenching, and it was just a beautiful graphic novel that really brings light to a horrible time in history, and it was so good. I actually, last weekend I went to an event in Orlando, the Orlando Book Festival, and the author, the artist that does Black Panther for Marvel or DC, I don't know, he was telling me that he had recommended Mouse to a family friend who was a Holocaust denier, and he cried through the whole thing, and like, I guess he had a change of heart after he read it, and it was just so powerful. It was a beautiful thing, and I went to the Holocaust Museum here in St. Petersburg yesterday, and it was just so gorgeous. And so ever since then, I've really wanted to reread Mouse by Art Spiegelman. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It was fantastic. Number 5 is, what is a graphic novel that you recommend to everybody? I recommend Saga to everybody because it has a story that a lot of people can relate to. It's got fantasy and science fiction and romance and action, and it's just so good. And then also the art style is very like widely accepted and widely loved. It's not some kind of out there. It's got lots of nice color, and it's not weird like some graphic novels might be that aren't, you know, enjoyed by most people. And then another reason why I think it's a really good starting place to recommend people is the panels are really simple to follow. Like some graphic novels, the panels are like all over the place, and you really have to kind of be experienced in an experienced reader of graphic novels to understand the flow of what's going where. But Saga, the art style is widely appreciated, and the panels are really simple, and the story is something that a lot of people can love or relate to. And so it's just a graphic novel that so many people love and enjoy for those reasons. And if you are looking for a great place to start for graphic novels, if you're 18 years or older, because there are some, I mean, from the very first page, there's sexy times happening. And you see a lot of like junks of people, I'm telling you what. But if you're over the age of 18, or if you're like a mature teenager, ask your parents for permission, whatever. I'm not your babysitter, okay? But it's just a really great novel to get you started if you want to get into graphic novels. Next is a graphic novel whose art you love, and for that, that's Niobe for me. Something that attracted me to this book, or this graphic novel series, was the art. It's just so beautiful and colorful and vibrant, and I love, is this the first? This is the 3rd issue, but I'll just flip through so you don't get any spoilers, but it's just so colorful and pretty, and of course, as you can see, it's a very diverse novel. I think all the main characters are people of color, and I just really enjoyed this. Something else that I really loved about this story is that it's written by Amanda Stenberg, or whatever her name is. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's the girl that was in Rue and Hunger Games, and she's in like, I think she's in the Everything movie. Really, really cool. And she wrote this, or did the art for it, or something to that effect. That's her name right there. And I just thought that was so freaking awesome, and I love this. This is a more expensive graphic novel issue than most of this. Is $4 per issue, but the issues don't come out very much. But I'm really, really loving the storyline, and like I said, the art is beautiful. I love vibrant, simple art, colorful art, and it's just so gorgeous. What is a graphic novel series that you wish were longer? Definitely Tokyo Ghost. Like I said before, this is my favorite graphic novel series, but it was only 10 issues, which is really, really short. I mean, like, Saga is in like the 50th issue, and Sex Criminals is like in the 100th millionth issue, and like there's just so many issues of everything, and Tokyo Ghost only has 10, and I'm dead. I literally, okay, so I go to the graphic, so this is me, ready? I can't do acting, but this is me going to the comic book store. I'm so excited! The issue 10 of Tokyo Ghost has come out. Can I has it? And the guy at the thing is like, yeah, sure, here you go. Isn't it sad that this is the last issue? And I'm all like, what? And I literally almost cried. I came home, I reread all 9 of the previous issues, and then read the 10th issue, and died inside because it was so good and I need more of it. And I guess the author of Tokyo Ghost was just like, I might come back to it one day, but I've got this other stuff that I want to work on, and I'm just like, why? I have lots of feelings about this graphic novel, if you haven't realized, but yeah, I need more out of Tokyo Ghost for sure. What is a graphic novel that made you laugh? Rat Queens by Curtis J. Wybe, I think his name is really, really funny. I love that all the main characters are girls, and they all have an amazing sense of humor, and they're so funny, and I just love everything about this series. If this doesn't explain it well, I don't know what does. Who are the Rat Queens? They're a pack of booze-guzzling, death-dealing battle maidens for hire, and they're in the business of killing all the gods' creatures for profit. Meet Hannah the rockabilly elfin mage, Violet the hipster dwarven fighter, Dee the atheist human cleric, and Betty the hippie smidgen thief. This modern spin on an old school genre is a violent monster-killing epic that is like Buffy meets Tank Girl in a Lord of the Rings world on crack, and it's like so true. So true. It's so good. I think one of the characters is in a female-female relationship. I haven't read this series in a while, but I think it's her, if I believe correctly, and it's just diverse and funny, and I love it, and it's amazing, and everyone needs to read it. Number 9 is what is a graphic novel that brought you out of your comfort zone, and that is for me Boxers and Saints by Jean Lune Yang. I read this, I think, for like Booktubeathon or something, to kind of like, you know, meet the 7 books in 7 days type thing, and it was good, but it definitely brought me out of my comfort zone. The art was too simple, too plain for me, and the story was not something that I would usually read. I ended up, I think, giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either, but definitely took me out of my comfort zone, like way out of my comfort zone. And finally, what is a book that you have on your wish list? So, Saga is one of my favorite graphic novels of all time, and I don't own any of them. There's like 7 out right now, and what I would give if someone just gifted me all 7 of them, I would be so happy. Because what happened was, is I read, like, I got into Saga when it had like 4 issues out. Not issues, but like, you know, graphic novel bind-ups out, and I read them all in one day at the library. I didn't even check them out. I just sat at the library and I read them. And I'm really bad about buying books that I've read from the library. Like, if I've read a book from the library, I'm probably not going to buy it. Like, what's the point? I've already read it. Why spend money on it? Like, it's very rare that I would buy a book that I've read from the library. So I just didn't want to spend the $15 on each bind-up because I already read it. And that's like 4 of them. That's like $60 just for 4 books, and I was like, nope, nope, I couldn't do it. But I love it so much, and I want to own them, but I just don't want to spend the money on them. So that's definitely something on my wish list. Also, Wires and Nerve by Marissa Meyer, another graphic novel that I read from the library that I want, but I don't want to spend the money on. So those are both on my wish list for sure. If you guys are interested in my wish list, down in the description below, if you're curious. But that is it for the graphic novel tag. Thank you so much to Harriet Rosie for tagging me. Again, go check out her channel. It's awesome. And if you guys would like to watch some more of my videos, you can click here. If you'd like to subscribe, you can click my face. Check all the links down in the description below for my social media and whatnot. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.